Channel 5 at noon. Local coverage you can count on.
Closely following Tropical Storm Erica this midday, currently in the Caribbean.
Now take a look. This is a live look at the Dominican Republic where the tropical storm made landfall earlier this morning.
Yeah, live look right there. We're going to right now get over to Glenn Glazer, seeing how this storm could impact us, Glenn.
It actually that's a little mistype there. It hasn't actually made landfall yet as it moves up toward Hispaniola now. But we are watching it carefully as it continues to push to the north. And we are seeing already watches and warnings that have issued all the way up through the Bahamas here. In fact, the northern Bahamas under a tropical storm watch. No watches or warnings issued for our area. If we do see any watches issued, that will be probably late tonight or early tomorrow. And that's if Erica survives the day. It's got a lot to overcome today, including wind shear and the interaction with the very mountainous terrain of Hispaniola. If it manages to work its way over to this island and still hang on, then it's going to take more of a turn to the northwest, according to the latest track from the Hurricane Center, and move up closer to the west coast of Florida, possibly, although the cone's still pretty wide here. It could end up all the way over here or all the way over here. But if it follows this track, that puts us on a much wetter side of the storm, and we could see a lot of rainfall starting late Sunday through a good chunk of Tuesday. Now, Erica's still very far away. We still have very high chances for rain today, but just your rainy season afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could be strong. We'll talk about that and the rest of your forecast coming up.
Well, the South Florida Water Management District is keeping close tabs on Tropical Storm Erica. Today they shared more details of their plan concerning the storm. News Channel 5's Tanya Rogers is live there now from the district with the details. Tanya.
Now, district officials just wrapped up their meeting. They said that this afternoon they are going to be opening up the canals. Now, for the major canals, they're going to start lowering those major canals. It could be up to about a foot over the weekend. Now, this is in anticipation if we're affected by Tropical Storm Erica. Now, the district says that even though they're not sure exactly where the storm is going to affect us, they are preparing just in case there is some heavy rainfall. They're trying to get ahead of any flooding problems that could happen in communities. They will start to open the drainage areas this afternoon and through the weekend. The Lake Worth Drainage District was also at the meeting. They opened their drainage areas yesterday. Today, they're asking certain residential communities to help.
We've lowered our canal system in preparation for the storm, and we're asking now local communities, homeowner associations, to open their structures to lower water.
The big message, their main concern right now is flooding, not wind. And like everyone else, they're waiting to see what happens over the next 24 critical hours while the storm moves over Hispaniola.
Don't take it for granted. Any kind of preparation is what you ought to be doing. And then when the rains come, if the significant hurricane winds don't come, get prepared for flooding.
The emergency management leaders are coordinating shelters just in case, and also working with the fairgrounds to possibly open a special needs shelter. A decision about whether to move to that stage likely will not happen until the weekend. Senator Nelson says he's been in touch with FEMA and they are ready to go if Florida needs them. And he also is touring the Herbert Hoover Dike at Lake Okeechobee this afternoon, but he says he's not overly concerned about lake levels right now because it would take about 3 feet of rain to get the lake to levels he would be worried about. So Lake Okeechobee, not a concern to him, at least right now. Live in suburban West Palm Beach, Brian Enton, WPTV News Channel 5.
It is a good time right now to download the WPTV app or sign up for our breaking news emails to get the latest updates on Tropical Storm Erica as they happen.
And as we track Tropical Storm Erica, 10 years ago this week, Hurricane Katrina slammed into the Gulf Coast, tearing apart communities and topping the levees and storm canals surrounding New Orleans. A decade later, this recovery still continues. Jay Gray is in New Orleans now with a closer look at what's been done and the work that's still left in that region.
The struggle began even before Katrina made landfall. At this exact hour 10 years ago, many along the Gulf Coast started to realize it was too late to try and outrun the massive storm. Katrina struck with a fury that ripped apart the Gulf Coast. Then, hours later,
one of the levees has broken.
The levees gave way in New Orleans.
It was one of our country's darkest moments.
At the time, many blamed President George W. Bush for a slow federal response to the storm. Today, he was back in the region for a closer look at the recovery and the work that remains. The numbers from the tragedy are staggering.
Help us.
More than 1,800 killed, more than 100,000 lost their homes. 80% of the city was underwater.
There were these continuous insults, continuous traumatic events.
Still, somehow, the survivors here have managed to keep moving forward.
If we take a deep breath and we recognize how far we've come in 10 years, it indicates how strong we are.
Strength you can see in the celebrations that fill the French Quarter again, in the Uptown, Garden, and University District neighborhoods flourishing. But there are other areas, a decade later, that still aren't back. Neighborhoods like New Orleans East and the Lower Ninth Ward, where the recovery is patchwork at best.
We were devastated to the tune of 180,000. We've come a long way, but there's still a lot to do.
And work is still being done, with a renewed focus on the communities that need it the most.
I believe that we're going to continue to get better.
Just like they have across this region for the last 10 years now. Jay Gray, NBC News, New Orleans.
A call this morning in Delray Beach to end gun violence comes as the police department announces the arrest of a murder suspect. Dion Graham is accused of killing Jamar Gamage early Saturday morning. News Channel 5's Charlie Keegan is in Delray Beach with the very latest. Charlie?
This morning, the police department asked the community not to retaliate, instead saying leaders should rechannel any frustration toward ending gun violence. This centers around a shooting which took place Saturday morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Police say they used surveillance footage and witnesses to identify Dion Graham as the trigger man. They arrested him yesterday and say he confessed to killing Jamar Gamage. Police tell me that this was an argument over a woman. They say Graham told them he is sorry for the shooting.
Actually, the sergeant came into my office last night after obtaining the confession and wanted to make sure we knew about it and to get it out there to the public, that he felt bad for what he did and he did not want anybody to retaliate for his actions.
At a news conference earlier this morning, Captain Mitchell asked on civic, school, and church leaders to come together and really put a stop to gun violence. He says he's confident the community will get the message. In Delray Beach, Charlie Keegan, WPTV News Channel 5.
A Port St. Lucie couple accused of keeping a relative as their sex slave for years will be in court today. Rob and Marie Johnson will find out if they will get their children back. Those children were put into state custody earlier this month after the couple was charged. A relative says she was forced to have sex with the couple for years.
We're going to continue to track Tropical Storm Erica this midday coming up. Glenn's going to have the latest track on this storm.
But first, Siri has a new rival. The feature Facebook just rolled out. We're back in just 60 seconds with the local coverage you can count on.
The I-95 Summer RV Show. A huge selection of RVs in air-conditioned comfort, like this used Heartland Elkridge, discounted to just $140 per month. The I-95 Summer RV Show going on now at La Mesa RV in Port St. Lucie.
During the Labor Day sale, discover tremendous values on everything you need to sleep. Save 10 to 20% below the sale prices of our competitors and take advantage of interest-free financing until 2018.
Sleep better and save more. Only at City Mattress.
Storm Shield phone call alerts. Another way to keep your family safe when severe weather threatens. Get a phone call from me to warn you when it's time to take action. No smartphone required. Find out more at stormshieldalerts.com.
It's the I-95 Summer RV Show. A huge selection of RVs in air-conditioned comfort. Like this new Itasca by Winnebago Meridian diesel pusher. Discounted over $101,000. The I-95 Summer RV Show going on now at La Mesa RV in Port St. Lucie.
We are continuing to track Tropical Storm Erica. You could take a live look. That's the Dominican Republic right now. Hasn't made landfall yet there, but boy, you could see the conditions windy and rainy. Checking with Glenn in just a few minutes to see exactly where Erica is right now.
As Erica's path is on the top of everyone's mind right now, remember, you can download our Storm Shield app. You'll find the latest satellite images, tracking models, everything that we show you on the air. You can actually find it on your phone. This is really good to have. The app also acts like a weather radio, so it's with you wherever you go. Just go to WPTV.com for that link. In this morning's consumer alert now, average long-term U.S. mortgage rates have dropped this week to their lowest levels since May. Mortgage giant Freddie Mac says the average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage dropped from 3.93% a week ago to 3.84% this week. Lower rates make it cheaper for home buyers to purchase a home. And Facebook has launched its own personal assistant. They named it M, like the letter. The new assistant is embedded within Facebook's Messenger app that many of us have now. But M is a little different from Apple's Siri and Windows Cortana. Instead of a purely artificial intelligence model, Facebook's M uses a hybrid of artificial intelligence and real, actual people. This means the new service will be able to do a vast number of tasks like book restaurants or even make your travel arrangements.
Okay. It's fake, but it's still real. All right, coming up, find out how the Treasure Coast is prepping for Tropical Storm Erica should it come our way.
And who you can call before, during, even after a tropical storm or hurricane for assistance.
Good afternoon again, everyone. Well, aside from Erica, which is still pretty far away from us, we have high chances for rain today. In fact, showers and thunderstorms bubbling up across the area. There you see some rain from West Palm all the way up to Juneau Beach. We're going to talk about our forecast through the weekend and into next week coming up.
Every storm is different. Every storm has something that surprises us, something that could catch you off guard. Using 3D radar, we can detect how high the storm is up into the sky. And the higher the storm is, usually the stronger it is. You can get stronger winds, you get heavier rain. Definitely that's a tool that we can use to give you a better idea of what's happening with storms.
Take center stage at your bat mitzvah, prom, or homecoming in a dress from Mario Pucci Boca. Over 1,000 dresses in stock, sizes 00 to 26, and the perfect accessories to complete your look. Define your style at Mario Pucci Boca.
Let Wallace Hyundai put you on the road to savings in a new Sonata for only $99 a month. Or buy a new Sonata at 0% for 75 months. Follow the road to Wallace Hyundai in Stewart.
Nowhere else but Wallace. We'll have you smiling again. Herbert Dental Group.
Struggling with dentures or delaying losing your teeth because you don't want dentures? The Ferber Dental Group can have you in permanent teeth without the need to wear dentures ever again. We can make this life-changing procedure affordable. So say goodbye to dentures and hello to eating the foods you love again. Call the Ferber Dental Group today, and we'll have you smiling again.
Now open in Boca and Lake Worth.
Kick back and relax during City Furniture's Labor Day sale. A queen bedroom set is just $9.99. A bonded leather reclining sofa, $5.99. A 5-piece dining set, $4.99. And find more Labor Day specials at cityfurniture.com. Plus, enjoy same-day delivery and no interest till 2017. Right now at City Furniture.
During the Road to Savings event at Wallace Hyundai, you can cruise up US 1 in a stylish yet fuel-efficient Elantra at a cost-efficient price of only $13,995. Start your travels at WallaceHyundaiofStewart.com.
Nowhere else but Wallace.
The perfect evening wear for every occasion. Over 1,000 dresses in stock, sizes 00 to 26, and the perfect accessories to complete your look. Mario Pucci Boca, a little bit of Madison Avenue in the heart of Boca.
Closed captioning on WPTV is sponsored by Bethesda Health.
All right, as we continue to track Tropical Storm Erica, we want to bring in Oscar Sotomayor on the phone. He is the Director of Emergency Management Operation in Puerto Rico right now. You can see a live look at San Juan, Puerto Rico to my right. Mr. Sotomayor, I want to thank you very much on your busy schedule and joining us. What are the conditions like where you are right now?
Well, we are right now at the Emergency Operations Center in San Juan. Right now, situation in the island, most of about 40, 45 towns right now without power. We have a lot of situational power outreach around the island, some trees, and we don't receive floods and any landslides in this situation from Tropical Storm Erica. right now, most of the situation are power outreach, but the electric power authority in the island is working very hard with local officials in recovering some roads and the country areas.
Absolutely. So you're looking at about 45 towns without power, thousands most likely in that range without power as you're taking a live look at San Juan, Puerto Rico. Mr. Sotomayor, so are you in kind of cleanup mode right now? Are you seeing the storm kind of pass you? What kind of mode is your country in right now in Puerto Rico?
Well, right now, situation start to recovery efforts around some of the 78 municipalities. It's first time we're expecting a heavy rain, and in most of the municipalities of the east part of the island, but the movement of this storm came more to the south, so most of the wind and rain came over all the whole island. So right now we have some showers right now. It's got showers, not heavy rain. We don't receive situation in rivers or landslide or any flooded roads.
Absolutely, and we know this is a common situation in Puerto Rico in hurricane season. Oscar Sotomayor, I would love to talk to you more, but we do have more of our own news to get here in South Florida. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for giving the update on Puerto Rico. At least 45 towns right now without power, and thousands of people involved with that. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
And you just saw the situation there in Puerto Rico. Here now in our area, Treasure Coast utilities say they are ready to restore power as soon as possible if Erica makes landfall. Utility crews have been out checking transformers, power lines, and other equipment ahead of the storm in anticipation. FP&L also adds they have invested more than $2 billion to strengthening utility poles. They say they are better prepared than ever to restore service. Also, the 211 helpline, you may have used it before, says it's already getting calls. If Erica does come our way, 211 says you can call before, during, even after a storm. So before, you can get information on emergency shelters and have some of your questions answered about hurricane preparations. During the storm, 211 is going to offer you crisis counseling, which can be very helpful to you. Also, after the storm, you can get referrals to emergency assistance programs and direction to resources to meet any needs that you may have.
The biggest thing I'd say to every family, just stop and think about your family for a second and think about your entire family. Make sure every member of your family is ready. Your parents, your children, your grandchildren, do you have a plan? Are there any special needs that you have? If you're going to potentially need a shelter, know where your shelters are.
That was Governor Rick Scott speaking at another media briefing that happened just before noon. He continues to address concerns over Tropical Storm Erica. This morning, the governor declared Florida a state of emergency. And Glenn, obviously, the governor taking it very seriously, and I think that is the tone here, to take this seriously.
Yeah, we have to take it seriously. We've been in the cone for days now. This is a great big storm, which is why it's been able to hang on for so long, despite being in a part of the Caribbean here with a lot of wind shear that has torn lesser storms apart. And you remember Danny kind of fell apart at the beginning of this week. This storm's kind of hanging on in here. But we're also looking at now some land interaction with Erica as it begins to move to the northwest over Hispaniola. Still just a little bit south there. But if you look at Hispaniola here, you'll see great big mountains. Those mountains go way up high, 10,000 feet or so, and that can really tear a storm apart as it crosses this island. This island is a storm killer, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope that that's what happens. It pulls the storm apart. In the meantime, we still have the computer models showing, and in pretty good agreement, that if this holds together, it will move over to the northwest here and head up toward the Bahamas and South Florida. And all the computer models in pretty good agreement here. There's a little bit of a spread at the end of the track here, and you'll see the cone grows quite large toward the end here. But winds at 50 right now, moving west-northwest at 18, the track right over top of the land there, and then kind of possibly hugging the northern coast of Cuba if it makes it that far, all the way up to the northwest here and passing between the Bahamas and Cuba and then up through the Florida Straits and possibly up along the west coast of Florida. But look what happens here at the end. As we get into Monday and Tuesday, the cone really gets much, much wider. And remember, it could end up all the way over here on this side of the cone, or all the way over here on this side of the cone. On the current track, a little bit west of our viewing area, would put us on the much rainier side of the storm, the eastern side. And in that respect, we could see a lot of rainfall if this track holds true. But, again, Erica has to survive today, and a lot of storms don't survive moving over Hispaniola. Those mountains are just a storm killer. So we'll watch that carefully throughout the day today. Now, we've got a lot of moisture in place across South Florida. This is unrelated to Erica, but a lot of rich tropical moisture moving in from the southwest. We're already seeing showers and thunderstorms bubbling up close to the coast, and showers and storms that develop this afternoon will move from southwest to northeast, and a few of those storms could be strong. Here's some rainfall coming down from Jupiter all the way down to West Palm and along I-95 there in Florida's Turnpike. Pretty wet already. Boynton Beach, Delray getting in on a little bit of rainfall here. Treasure Coast fairly quiet. There's a new little shower up in Martin County. Looks like a little shower moving in to Okeechobee County, and a couple up in Fort Pierce and in Vero Beach. So watch Vipercast through this afternoon. Here's your lunch hour. Here as we get to mid-afternoon, some showers and thunderstorms still around. And then watch what happens from after about 3 o'clock, from mid to late afternoon through the early evening, scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms possible, pushing over to the coast. Again, some of those storms could be very strong later on today. We've got a whole team of meteorologists here. They're going to be watching this all day long. James Whelan's already here. Lisa Vaughn's here. Steve Weagle's coming in. So we'll have a lot of people here monitoring the situation throughout the afternoon and early evening. Let's take a quick look at your 7-day forecast. Today, that's scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon. Tomorrow, not a bad day. Partly sunny, breezy, with a chance for scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. And if Erica begins to impact our forecast, it will be from late Sunday through a good part of Tuesday. And then we return to sort of a normal forecast for this time of year, Wednesday and Thursday.
When we come back, we're going to tell you how Martin Luther King Jr. made history 52 years ago today.
Hello, Jupiter to Cuesta. I need some help with my air conditioning.
Quick, efficient home repair is reason to celebrate.
The Kellys really loved their bedroom makeover, so they came back to Bassett to redo their main living space. So tell me about the room.
The room's a little
mismatched. I totally understand. With our free design service, creating a custom look they can both agree on will be easy. With the HGTV Home Design Studio at Bassett, it's easy to find the right balance of style and comfort.
I love the color, how bright it is.
It's very comfortable.
It all came together perfectly.
Are you ready for your big reveal?
Save 25% store-wide during Bassett's Labor Day sale.
It's H.H. Gregg's Labor Day sale. For the first time ever, get 0 down and 0 interest for 36 months.
Gregg's got it.
Up to 35% off TVs.
Gregg's got it.
Like a 39-inch LED TV, $198. An LG 55-inch LED TV, $488. Plus 0 down and 0 interest for 36 months. Now during our Labor Day sale. Top brands, low prices, fast delivery.
Gregg's got it.
Excellence. How do you find it? It's fueled by passion, thrives on persistence, and demands nothing less than total dedication. My name is Mark Anajar.
And I'm Glenn Levine.
Our mission to deliver excellence in legal services is what makes a world of difference.
Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE for a consultation.
No WPTV News Channel 5 will be live on one of these iHeart radio stations to make sure you're prepared.
The Storm Shield app. Know where severe weather is before you go out.
Hello, Jupiter to Cuesta. I need some help with my electrical.
Quick, efficient home repair is reason to celebrate.
News on WPTV is sponsored by Stanley Steamer.
You know, today marks the 52nd anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. The civil rights icon delivered that famous address on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. More than 250,000 people were there. Nearly 5 years after the historic speech, King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. I want to pass along a quick reminder. If you plan to take your kids to the Kids World at the South Florida Fairgrounds, the event now on hold, now is only, I should say, on Saturday. Only on Saturday. The county needs to use the South Florida Fairgrounds as a medical shelter in case of an emergency, but the event on Saturday, only Saturday, is free. And the reason for all of this, of course, is Tropical Storm Erica. We're checking that out right now.
Of course, and this is something that could break apart, you know, in the next several hours. So you're going to be watching this closely.
We're all here. We're all watching it. We're updating on Facebook, on Twitter. You know, we'll cut in every time a new update comes out. The next update comes out.